What's going on, guys? Zoc here, and today I got a pretty special video for you guys. So yeah, we're going to be looking at if Sparkle will be viable with Acheron. Now I do have a Sparkle on my account, and I will be pulling for Acheron when she comes out. So if you guys do want to take a look at my future content that will be coming out, I definitely will show my Sparkle in action with my Acheron. But yeah, we're going to just look at if Sparkle is going to be viable alongside Acheron. Obviously, you guys know that she needs 2 other Nihility characters to get that full damage buff that she gets in her traces. So yeah, we're going to take a look at if Sparkle will be meta to run alongside only one Nihility character, and then obviously you're going to have a sustain or a healer in that last slot. But yeah, we're just going to take a look. So let's just get straight into it, guys. So first thing I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to go over what Sparkle does. A lot of you guys probably already know what she does, but I'm going to have 3 listed things here that are kind of her 3 main things that she does and what she, applies to your teammates as well as the whole team. And these 3 things are very important. It's going to also go into how it synergizes well with Acheron and all that good stuff. So yeah, I'm going to list off these 3 things, and I'll start with the first one here. So first thing we'll take a look at right here is what her ultimate provides. So right up on screen it says her ultimate provides 3 extra skill points to the entire team, as well as Cypher, which is a small attack bonus. Now depending on how well you have her traces leveled up, the Cypher could do 5, it could do 10% damage boost. So it's not that big of a attack bonus, but it is pretty nice to have an extra 5 to 10% attack bonus. And obviously you guys probably know that having 2 Nihility characters alongside Acheron gives her, I believe it's 160% attack bonus. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's that. And if you have only one, then it's 115. So you're missing out on 45% attack bonus without using 2 Nihility characters. But if you do use Sparkle, you can still have a 5 to 10%, depending how well you have it leveled into traces, a 5 to 10% attack bonus still with Sparkle. And then on top of that, you get the extra skill points, which is probably her best thing that she provides, is the skill points, because having more skill points means that you can, not only do all the rest of your skills with the rest of your teammates, but you could do more skills with Acheron, and using Acheron's skills applies debuffs herself. You really don't have to worry at all about not using her skill, because you're just always going to have Acheron's skill to use because of Sparkle's extra skill points that she provides with her ultimate. So yeah, this is her ultimate. It's definitely her main thing that is really, really helpful for Acheron and her team. So second thing I have listed here is actually a part of what her skill does. So right there up on screen it says that her skill provides a 50% action advance forward, and this of course will give Acheron more turns, and then in turn will give her more chances to apply her debuffs. So yeah, this is really, really nice too, because not only are you giving her more turns to do more damage with her skill, but then you're also giving her more chances to apply her debuffs, which in turn will give her more I think it's called Crimson Knots. Yeah, Crimson Knots to get her ultimate off, which is the most, the thing that does the most damage with Acheron. I'm sure you guys know that already. But yeah, this is really, really important, because using this instead of another Nihility character, already these 2 things, honestly, if it was just these 2 things, then I probably would use Sparkle over 2 Nihility characters. Now, obviously, not everyone has Sparkle, but if you do have Sparkle and you have a really well-built Pela or something like that, which we'll get into later, Sparkle is such a really great choice for her, because you could do basically all the skills you want with her, which provides her more debuffs, which also gets her ultimate off faster, and then you're also getting a small attack bonus, even though you're missing out on a lot of attack. Well, not a lot of attack, but a decent amount of attack from you running 2 Nihility debuffers. You are still getting that small attack bonus, which is nice, and then you're getting the advance forward with her skill, and you're never gonna not use that skill, because you always have the skill points to do it. So yeah, these 2 things so far already kind of sold me on Sparkle, of how good she is going to synergize alongside Acheron. So yeah. And the third and final thing we'll look at here is also another part of what her skill provides to that certain teammate, which of course you'd want to apply this every time to Acheron if you have these 2 on a team together, and it's the crit damage buff. So we'll read this off again. Her skill also provides a crit damage buff to that select teammate, which in this case it'd be Acheron, on top of the action advance forward. So yeah, this is really, really good already from the 2 things we already know. But on top of this, you get the crit damage buff, and obviously you want to build Acheron with crit rate, crit damage, all that good stuff, because she is a damaging unit. I actually have a separate video on my channel. It's actually an easy guide, easy to follow guide on how to build up Acheron in terms of her relics and all that good stuff. But yeah, this crit damage buff is really, really nice. You can get this really, really highly leveled. I've seen really high crit damage buffs with certain people's sparkles who are really, really well built. So yeah, of course, these three things are going to be really, really nice to have instead of another Nihility unit. And honestly, if you have a really, really well-built Pela, especially if you have her like E4, E6, I believe, is the one where she gets a defense reduction, which actually gives another debuff with Pela's skill. This is looking like it's going to be really, really well to use instead of using another Nihility debuffer, because yes, you are missing out on the extra 45% attack bonus, but you get a small attack bonus with Sparkle. You get the 3 extra skill points with Sparkle, so you can always do the skill. You get the 50% action advance forward that you will give to Acheron, so it'll give her more turns. She'll always be able to use her skill, which gives her more debuffs, therefore getting her ultimate much, much faster. And on top of that, you also get a crit damage buff, making her do even more damage on top of the small attack bonus that you get. So yeah, those are the 3 main things of why Sparkle could be really, really viable alongside Acheron here. So now we're just going to watch some gameplay with Acheron and Sparkle on the same team. It's not the best quality I could find, but it'll still give a nice demonstration of how they're going to work together. So you can see right there, Sparkle did her skill, Acheron attacks with her skill, did a nice amount of damage there. It's getting attacked right now, but yeah, you're going to just watch the rest of this. Obviously for that Nihility spot, you're going to obviously want to run Pela because her ultimate is really, really good. It at least provides a 30% defense reduction. That is a debuff, so you get the debuff from that, and actually we're watching it right here. You get a 30% at least defense reduction on all the enemies, so therefore Acheron could do even way more damage, and that lasts for 2 turns, by the way, so you'll definitely be able to hit him with Acheron, especially because, you know, the action advance forward, as we just saw. They're even using the Cypher right here to get some more skill points and the extra damage. So here we go, then Acheron is going to unleash her ultimate. So you get the first swipe there, and then I guess they're taking the time with it to see the damage. Second swipe there, third swipe, and then the fourth and final one. So right there it does 1,000,000 damage, but obviously these characters, I'm sure that they have a really, really well built up. I'm not sure if this is an E0 Acheron or anything like that, but obviously you're going to get a lot of damage if you do decide to run a team like this, so yeah. Another thing I do want to mention quickly is that Pela is probably the best Nihility character to run alongside Acheron if you do use Sparkle with her, because of the 30% reduction that you get with her ultimate. Even though if you don't have her E4, I believe, is where she gets the defense reduction from her skill. Even if you don't have that, the 30% defense reduction, and by the way, that scales with her traces, so I think it can go up to 40% of a defense reduction to all enemies when she uses it. Yeah, and that's really, really good to have. And even if you have her E0, it's really, really fine to use that because that 30% defense reduction is just so monumental to do even more damage with Acheron. So Pela is definitely a character that you'd want to use alongside Acheron if you do use her with Sparkle. And last thing I'll mention before this video ends is how this light cone up on screen now, the trend of the universal market is really, really good to use on your preservation unit if you are using a preservation unit alongside Acheron on your team. Obviously, you can't use this one if you have a healer on your team, but if you do have a preservation unit, such as Fu Xuan, Japard, definitely make use of this light cone, especially if you have it, and especially if you have it superimposed really well, because of the debuff it applies onto the enemy. And because you're not directly getting another debuff from Sparkle, using this one on your Japard or your Fu Xuan, etc. can be really, really nice. Not only does it increase your defense, which is also pretty good, but it gives that debuff, and you can get this leveled up pretty highly, and it can actually do some nice damage with that burn. And that will last, obviously, for a few turns because it is a DOT. But yeah, this is a really nice debuff, an extra debuff that you can apply using one of your preservation units that will get Acheron's ultimate to go off faster and for her to ultimately do more damage. So yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I really hope this gave you some more information if you do want to run your Sparkle with Acheron. Of course, you got to take my advice into consideration. Not everyone has a Sparkle, and not everyone has you know, Nihility characters and all that good stuff, but at the end of the day, it just comes down to what you want to do with your account and all that good stuff. But I hope this helped. I hope this made some more sense for if you guys want to run Sparkle. Instead of 2 Nihility characters, you could run Sparkle and another Nihility. Just try to experiment with your teams alongside Acheron, because Acheron is a really interesting and unique character. She's a Nihility character on the Nihility path, obviously, but she has a lot of damage in her kit. With the amount of damage she does, she kind of feels more like a Jing Liu and stuff like that, more like a destruction character. But yeah, she's a really unique character, and I'm really, you know, excited to pull her when she comes out and all that good stuff. So definitely like and subscribe if you guys want to see that alongside the Sparkle and Acheron kind of synergy content. I'll also be posting when I have her on my team. But yeah, guys, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do, definitely consider liking and subscribing. And yeah, guys, Zoc out.